Make about 90 grand a year now. Unemployment is what, $250 a week? Is that one of your positive effects? Well, we'll get to be cozier because I'm not going to be able to pay my mortgage on my house, so maybe we can move into a nice fucking one-bedroom apartment somewhere. And I guess without benefits, I'll be able to hold my daughter as she, suffers from her asthma that I won't be able to afford the medication for.
Well, tests have shown that children under moderate trauma have a tendency to apply themselves academically as a method of coping.
Go fuck yourself. That's what my kids will think.
Your children's admiration is important to you?
Yeah, it was.
Well, I doubt they ever admired you, Bob.
Hey, asshole, aren't you supposed to be consoling me?
I'm not a shrink, Bob. I'm a wake-up call. You know why kids love athletes?
I don't know, because they screw lingerie models.
No, that's why we love athletes. Kids love athletes because they follow their dreams.
Well, I can't dunk.
No, but you can cook.
What are you talking about?
Your resume says that you minored in French culinary arts. Most students, they work in the fryer at KFC, but you bust tables at Il Picatore to support yourself. And then you get out of college, and you come and you work here. How much did they first pay you to give up on your dreams?
27 grand a year.
And when were you going to stop and come back and do what makes you happy?
Good question.
I see guys who work at the same company for their entire lives, guys exactly like you. They clock in, they clock out, and they never have a moment of happiness. You have an opportunity here, Bob. This is a rebirth. Now, if not for you, do it for your children.
Welcome to another edition of the podcast, Blending the Family, episode 104, coming to you, recording this in the beautiful country of Canada. I'm not going to sing the Canadian anthem, even though I think the Canadian national... I've been watching a lot of hockey. If you know me, you understand I'm in heaven when your hotel TV cable channels have nothing but hockey. Even though I'm recording this on a Sunday, I do have the Packer Los Angeles Ram game on, but I'm a hockey fan. I love hockey. Been able to watch a lot of hockey as of late. So anyway, yes, this is episode 104. We're going to be talking about FOMO, fear of missing out. And that clip that you heard right before we started is from one of my favorite movies, Up in the Air, starring the one, the only. Yes, I have a bro crush on George Clooney. You also heard J.K. Simmons and Anna Kendrick in that clip. I love that movie. Matter of fact, I did a LinkedIn article about why George Clooney ruined business travel because of that movie. Essentially, his character in that movie, he goes around and the company he works for gets hired from other companies to fire their people. Yeah, it's a real uplifting job. But he travels so much, he's got millions of miles, and excuse me. But he makes business travel look so romantic, sitting in his hotel room with his fluffy pillow, or fluffy robe. I don't have fluffy robes. Barely have a fluffy pillow. Man, the beds here suck, and I'm not going to name the hotel. Anyway, so we're going to talk about fear of missing out. And that clip will make a little bit more sense. How the heck are you? How you doing? Doing good? You walking the dog right now? I hope you're walking the dog. Our dog, Duke, last I heard, he's doing well. I am in Canada for 2 weeks, so I haven't seen Dookie. I asked Anne, my wife, how's he doing? He's doing okay. What'd she say? He came inside and he couldn't straighten up. His hips are so bad right now, but he's plugging along. We love the guy. And what else is going on? not much really to report. Unfortunately, I stayed over. Well, not unfortunately, but unfortunately, I stayed over the weekend here because I would have had to take an earlier flight on Friday to get back home, and then take an earlier flight on Monday to get back here and deal with customs. And customs almost didn't let me in to Canada, which was interesting because I don't know if it's anti-me. I don't know if I was too nervous when the customs agent was asking me a lot of questions. I mean, a lot of questions. And I got to the point where I was like, are you letting me in? If not, let me just go home. I'll go home. But eventually, after 10 minutes of questioning, he let me in. And I looked at my work schedule, and I'll be back in Canada. So that makes me nervous. Again, dealing with customs. I mean, I'm sure it's the other way around too when people come to, the United States. And, but everybody, I hate to stereotype. I really do. But, oh my gosh, everybody in Canada has been so sweet. So sweet. Quick story. My flight went from Denver to Calgary. And I've never been in that airport. I've never been in the Calgary airport. And one of the people that drive those big carts for people in the airports, a lady said, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm just completely lost." She goes, "Where are you going?" I go, I said, "And I'm headed to Regina." "Yes." "Okay, get your laughter in. You don't call it Regina. It's Regina. Okay, grow up. Okay, this isn't second grade." Anyway, I told this sweet airport worker where I was headed, and she said, "Hop on." And all right, and it was a trek. I'm very blessed that she gave me a ride because I would have gotten my 10,000 steps right there going from, if you've never flown, for example, to Canada as a U.S. citizen, so what you have to do is, I went from Denver to Calgary. So at the Calgary airport, I had to go talk to border customs, and then I had to go recheck in to my flight. So I had to go through their version of TSA all over again. And here's the funny thing. So I have my podcast microphone with me. They wanted to search my backpack and had nothing to do with, carrying 2 laptops, carrying a podcast microphone. Nope, it was a pen. It was a yellow pen I had in my backpack. A yellow pen. I don't get it. Anyway. So, yeah, so unfortunately I'm here this weekend, and Connor's hockey team is playing, or they're done as we speak. Let me just want to check my phone to see if, did he respond? Let's see if Coach Scott responded. Which team? So it's coming up as my work number. Hey, it's Tommy. AKA. Come on, AK. Oops. Oh, maybe that's why nobody else is responding to me, because I have my personal phone turned off being in Canada, and I just have my work phone on. Hey, it's Tommy, AKA Connor's dad. Connor's dad. This is my work phone number, because I don't text very fast, as you can tell, because I am in Canada. All right. Hey, it's Tommy, aka Connor's dad. This is my work phone number because I'm in Canada. All right, so let's. Okay. So that's probably why nobody's responding, because my work number does show up, I guess. For some reason, my work phone and my personal phone were somehow tethered together with other things. So anyway, so it looks like Scott's responding. Let's see. Come on, Scott. Tell me good news. Tell me good news that the team won and Connor played really well. More importantly, that the team won. Come on. Well, like I said, so the team has a game as I was recording this, and Coach Scotty S. is my outside connection. Oh, speaking of Scott's, hey, Scott C., thanks for your text. Scotty C. was asking about, 7-1, Connor played great. Again, I don't know shots quite yet. All right. Yay. No, that's yeah. YA? Yeah. Thank you. I am mentioning you on the podcast. Scotty C. was asking about Winnemucca Part 2, which due to some kind of technical difficulties or glitch, the phone I used back then to record it died. And when I uploaded it from my phone to GarageBand, it didn't come over. And so I apologize. So there will be no Winnemucca 2. If you listen to Winnemucca 1, it's pretty much the same. I'm boring. I'm blessed that two guys named Scott listen to this podcast. I think my Dad, you listen to it. Thank you, Dad. That's it. There's the whole audience. Nobody else does. I do want to throw out one quick question before we talk about FOMO. And I'm going on way too long about this, but I know this is boring shit. But I want to know: do you do a flu shot? I can't remember the last time I did a flu shot. I am one of those people that flu shot. I'm not a fan of it. Not a fan of it. Are you a fan of it? Let me know. I would love to know. All right, let's talk about FOMO. So that clip from the movie Up in the Air is one of my favorite movies because it's George Clooney's character is what I would love to figure out how to do, and I'm a retard. I'm an idiot. I'm stupid, so I haven't been able to figure it out yet. But not only is he quote unquote a consultant, okay, so he goes in, does his job, but he's also a professional speaker at the same time. So he'll set up these small conference rooms and do a speech. His speech is called "What's in Your Backpack?" And I always crack up watching that, and I always think of Toastmasters and, how can he improve that speech and blah, 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 blah. But the fear of missing out. So my fear today, obviously, is I'm missing out an opportunity to see Connor play as Scott Hockey. That's how it shows up on my phone, Scott Hockey. Let me know that the team won and Connor played great. But my fear, obviously, as a parent, as a dad, as a goalie dad, is that I'm missing out on this. Okay? And that's understandable. But there are other things in life that I will be there for. Okay? Yes, as parents, I'm going to talk to the parents real quick. We miss out things like the first step or the first time our kids say a word or the first time they ate solid food, those things. And those things do come and go, but it's more important, in my view, of being present, okay? You don't always have to be physically present. So if you read my first book, 25 Tips for Divorced Dads, one of the things I talked about to stay present with your kids, especially us parents who travel a lot for work, my simple little tip was to send a postcard, which I'm going to go back into that habit. I'm going to start sending postcards again. That lets your kids know that you are present. At the same time, you can do that for your spouse or somebody else you care for. How cool it is to send somebody a postcard. I still love it. I still love the ability to write and receive letters. My grandmother's great at that. Still get birthday cards from her. Let's talk about, all right, so the clip, let's talk about what was going on there. So J.K. Simmons obviously just got laid off, okay? However, his fear of missing out was more of the paycheck instead of looking at the big picture. And it seems as his character, before he came to work at whatever company it was, he wanted to be a chef. But his fear of missing out was the money. How am I going to support a family when that very first paycheck, as it was in the clip, he got paid $27,000, his first salary. It didn't make him happy, or his character didn't make him happy. So there's a fear. Let's talk about that fear. So your fear could be, all right, I want to quit my job, but how do I support my family? How do I support myself? How do I, survive? Well, there are ways to figure it out, okay? When you're overcome with this fear, as I've learned through many of the great writers of our day, talk a lot about Stoicism. And with Stoicism, one of the Stoics, and I believe it was Marcus Aurelius, maybe, talking about essentially we put too much in our heads that, so we put the pretend world in our head when in reality it's all going to work out. Or maybe it doesn't, but we put the biggest fears in our head, and when it happens, you go, oh, it really wasn't that bad. Okay? So again, to use the career move. So you want to quit your job. You want to, let's use J.K. Simmons' character. So now he just got laid off. Well, what do you do now? Well, you figure it out. Okay. Well, what is it I need to do to help bring in income for my family? All right. So what is it I really want to do? Like George Clooney said, this is a rebirth for Bob. What is your rebirth? What is it that you'd rather be doing? Is it writing? Is it making clay sculptures? Is it traveling the world? What is it? What can you do today to remove that fear of missing out? Maybe it's baby steps. Maybe it's, maybe you want to try something new, but you don't want to totally commit. I get it, okay? So what I would like you to do is, what is it that you would rather be doing? Be it career. You can use this as a career. You can use this for dating. You could use this for even buying a car, okay? So here's what I want you to do. Take a blank piece of notebook paper, okay? In the middle of it, write that thing down, okay? So, for example, a lot of my coaching clients, I have them do this. So, in the middle of the paper, we write down the word job, and then we circle it, okay? And essentially what this is called is mind mapping. And what mind mapping does, it gives you the opportunity to do a brain dump or just a brain barf, I like to call it from time to time, where you just throw out your thoughts on a piece of paper. So you have job circled. What is it you'd rather be doing? Okay? Now, you've heard our good friend Johnny Nomad, a.k.a. Johnny's Corner, on this podcast. And I think I mentioned he and his wife, the a.k.a. Lovely, have a new podcast on Anchor. And unfortunately, Johnny's going through a little rough time. And so we talked about this. We talked about, all right, what is it that he can do? He's a funny guy. But his passion, again, is serving. He wants to write more books, produce more podcasts. We talked about increasing, doing more YouTube videos, and maybe looking at using Facebook as well as all part of their, not just their marketing platform, but their message platform. But at the same time, we need to get income coming in. So how can we do that? And so I did this with Johnny. I had him mind map it out. And so this is a great exercise for you as well. So if you're not happy in the situation you're in right now, because your fear is, oh, no, I've got to be working this, 8 to 9, because, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. job, because nobody's working 8 hours these days. It's 8, 9, 10, 11. My average for me this past week has been 11. And so because of that, I will be honest, my exercise routine fell away. So we're going to get back into it this week, definitely. So do this exercise. Mind map it out. What does he rather do? Circle the word, for our example, job. And then what is it? What is that one job? So maybe we'll say writing. So you draw a little line from the word you've circled, little line, and then you write writing. And then you circle that. Well, what kind of writing? Ooh, I want to do nonfiction writing. Okay. Are there other people that you know of that can help you, mentor you, or maybe give you some leads? So you branch off of that and you go on and so on and so forth. So fear of missing out. Take your baby steps. Slowly start chiseling away of not having to worry about the fear of missing out. Yes, we're going to miss out as parents. We're going to miss out on opportunities to see our children in their elements at their events. But guess what? Life will go on. They're going to still love you, and you're going to still love them. There you go. Fear of missing out. Whew. Thanks for listening. Thanks for caring. Thanks for sharing. I did tell this to somebody this past week. I said, just remember, your success is my success. And they looked at me like I was an idiot, which I get that from time to time. But, Terry Crews, he's the man. I just saw, speaking of Terry Crews, I just saw Deadpool 2 a couple weeks ago. Where was it? I can't remember. I was traveling back to Denver, back home. And I was able to pull that up on my flight, and I was so sad that Terry Crews had such a small role in Deadpool 2, and I didn't know this. They've been replaying here the movie Draft Day with Kevin Costner. Guess who's in that movie? Terry Crews. Oh, I love that guy. I hopefully one day will get the opportunity to meet him and tell him how much his words, that simple phrase, your success is my success, has really impacted me. Okay? All right, there you go. That's it. I'm done. We will be having some guests coming up on new episodes. And if you can, please go to iTunes, rate and review. If you really enjoy this podcast, even if you hated this fucking episode, that's okay. Tell me. Let me know. But that's it. There you go. And I hope you have a great day. Bears won today. And hopefully the Hawks will win again. They lost last night to St. Louis. Got blown out by St. Louis. But we'll leave that for another episode. Thank you. My name's Tommy. Have a great day.